You receive loot. Raw brilliant small fish.
Gotta open my door.
guy says, man, Italian food just puts you down. You receive loot. Raw long jaw mud snapper. Hilitsaw says, I want some RN.
Round 12 has joined the guild.
Stabvine says, welcome, smiley face. Round 12 says, thanks, laughing face. Grapefruit says, WB. You receive loot. Raw long jaw mud snapper. Round 12 says, I had to take a break lol. Grapefruit says, understandable. Round 12 says, damn Yeti cave got me. You receive loot. Raw long jaw mud snapper. Grapefruit says, what level? Grapefruit says. Round 12 says, just 9. Grapefruit says, ah. Grapefruit says, that's good at least. Round 12 says, still in done more. Round 12 says, you're just getting some steam. Had 3 stacks of light leaf lol and got a free one from someone QQ. Round 12 says, but says lava it's the game. You receive loot. Raw brilliant small fish. You receive loot. Raw brilliant small fish. Grapefruit says, we can get you one for sure. You receive loot. Raw brilliant small fish. You receive loot. Raw brilliant small fish. Round 12 says, that'd be awesome lol. You receive loot. Raw long jaw mud snapper. Gregory says, tell us a little about yourself. Round 12. You receive loot. Raw brilliant small fish.
Oops.
Few years. Round 12 says, I'm Jelen's uncle lol. Gregory says, really lol. You receive loot. Raw long jaw mud snapper. Round 12 says, you legit lol.
Okay, all my needs are taken care of. I don't know if I have any quests, so I'm going to take a look at that
You
next.
receive loot. Raw brilliant small fish.
No main quest, so...
Stabvine says, Unclegeland is for sure not taken.
Got a ton of side stuff I can do, but I'm not actually very interested.
Round 12 says, I introduced myself in disc. Lazy pops but yet played since 05 and I got some free time. Round 12 says, BRB. Round 12 says, so I figured I'd try to HC it up. You receive loot. Raw brilliant small fish. Grigori says, it's fun, adds a level of endorphins to the game. You receive loot. Raw brilliant small fish. Stabbind says, I got fired on the same day I lost my 57 rogue LOL. Stabbind says, max adrenaline. Grigori says, why did you get fired? You receive loot. Raw brilliant small fish. You receive loot. Raw long jaw mud snapper. Stabbind says, CEO laid off the entire exec team. Stabbind says, no explanation. Round 12 says, okay, I took unclegelant LOL. Stabbind says, LOL sick. Grigori says, damn I'd be pissed. You receive loot. Raw brilliant small fish. Stabbind says, got a parachute deal so it's alright. Stabbind says, super annoying though, was my second week. You receive loot. Raw long jaw mud snapper. Grigori says, they took our jobs. You receive loot. Raw brilliant small fish. Stabbind says, CEO's wife left him last week apparently. Stabbind says, I think he's melting down. Grigori says, that's good. You receive loot. Raw brilliant small fish. Grigori says, divorce literally kills men LOL. Yulitsa says, best of luck. Round 12 says, man that's wild. Stabbind says, LOL thanks. You receive loot. Raw long jaw mud snapper. Stabbind says, interview later today. Yulitsa says, crazy story. Yulitsa says, what field? Stabbind says, startups are crazy right now. Round 12 says, good luck, what do you work in? Stabbind says, legal tech startup. skycat.live says, marriage asterisk kills me. skycat.live says, men. You receive loot. Raw brilliant small fish. skycat.live says, LOL JK. Round 12 says, LOL. Stabbind says, LOL. Yulitsa says, did you go to law school? Grigori says, I've heard having a wife makes you live longer. Round 12 says, depends on the wife ID bet. Stabbind says, no. Stabbind says, I was the VP of EvE. Stabbind says, congrats dude. Grigori says, what's his name? You receive loot. Raw brilliant small fish. Yulitsa says, XD. Yulitsa says, her name is Yulitsa. Round 12 says, Marvin, love. skycat.live says, get a prenup? Yulitsa says, nah XD. skycat.live says, oh ah. Yulitsa says, most expensive thing I own is my truck. skycat.live says, well, consider it. You receive loot. Raw brilliant small fish. You receive loot. Raw brilliant small fish. You receive loot. Raw brilliant small fish. Stinkbug says, got a wand, some bags, and a little starter kit in the mail for you, Uncle Jelland. Round 12 says, sick. You receive loot. Raw long jaw mud snapper.
Oh, good, I'm done.
Round 12 says, I appreciate it. You create long jaw mud snapper. Round 12 says, I was doing well last night, but there were a few of us in the Wendigo cave, and it caused spawns. Ali Sabi says, anyone for Hogger? Yulitsa says, damn. You create long jaw mud snapper. Barlard says, looking for guild. Balaka says, ouch, a level 58 falling death. You create long jaw mud snapper. Round 12 says, and just can't tank 4 mobs as a priest. Gregory says, 58 just fell to their death. Yulitsa says, 58 falling. Gregory says, at number $man. You create long jaw mud snapper. Round 12 says, footage. You create long jaw mud snapper. 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 Cobra Tech says, Hogger anyone? Innkeeper Farley says, welcome to the Lion's Pride Inn. Make yourself at home. Round 12 says, well, I'll be back later. Gotta go run some errands. Round 12 says, thank you guys for the invite and the booster. Gregory says, by UNC. Round 12 says, yo, but you don't gotta worry, I'm not that like, hey, let's go practice WWE moves, uncle.
You feel rested.
I don't feel that good.
Round 12 says, nervous face.
Fucking annoying. It's hard to focus. I am 15. Maybe I'll kill some gnolls. Okay, well this is good. I now have good food. So when I need to get my health back, I can. Let's go turn that video back on. Oops. saved my spot. You
former president.
fucking assholes. Or no, this isn't it. This isn't the right video, is it? I mean, no, that's not the right video. We finished that one. Here.
See? The top left corner? Zoom in on it. It's there.
I think I want to watch something more current and modern. This was good, and thank you, Bomber guy, but...
tool, including by some officials in the presidential palace and in the ministry behind the investigation into Durov. But French investigators have also found the app has been used by drug traffickers. Ooh. Telegram was launched in 2013 by Durov and his brother Nikolai. The most Russian name ever. Nikolai. Isn't this a guy in Black Ops? Nikolai. Oh, he's in Modern Warfare. Yeah, this guy. This guy was the GOAT. The only people who have ever made me use Telegram to communicate with them are Your Movie Sucks and Mold and Kiwi Farms. These are the only people who have ever asked me willingly to make me... What I needed to talk to them was like, you have to use Telegram. These are the only people that have ever told me that Telegram is the preferred method of communication. A furry and the guy who owns the most hated website on the internet. To give you context, okay. Pavel Durov, the founder and CEO of the messaging app Telegram, was arrested in Paris over the weekend over allegations that his platform is being used for illicit activity, such as drug trafficking and the distribution of child images. I mean, that's not really surprising if that's happening, to be honest with you. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've covered, you know, cases on YouTube where I'm talking about some freak, you know, some whatever the right. Typically, the platform they're going to use is going to be Telegram, to be honest with you, because of its encrypted messaging feature. They think they're safe there, right? That's not really surprising. I guess the problem is if he hosted that and didn't delete it and didn't report it to authorities. Capri Suns aren't American, they're German? No way. Capri Sun Wikipedia. A brand of juice concentrate drinks manufactured by the German company. This is just a lie. This is a lie. Wikipedia is lying. This is misinformation. They're American. That's not true. What's my source? I made it the f up. That's not true. I don't believe that. I simply don't believe it. I simply choose to not believe that. It's just not true. You know it's not true. You're lying. You just made that Wikipedia page and sent it to my ISP so it would show up first result. Durov, who was born in Russia, spent much of his childhood in Italy and is a citizen of France, Russia, and the Caribbean island nation of St. Kitts. St. Kitts. Never even heard of this. St. Kitts.
Xanamu has reached level 60.
St. Kitts. Island in St. Kitts and Nevis. Where is this? Where is St. Kitts? The West Indies. So that's Florida. It's out here? That's so weird. He's a citizen of St. Kitts. I forgot there was all this shit going on over here. I also forgot Cuba was so big. Is Cuba that big? In my mind, I only ever think of the map of the United States, and then I just imagine there's nothing past Florida, to be honest with you. Like, the Earth just drops off. Cuba's that big? Oh my god, Cuba's huge. Cuba's like a giant dick in the ocean. Oh my god, it's so big. What the? I didn't know that. That's crazy. It's tiny. It looks big on this map. It looks big on my map. So it's like there's a whole world. It's almost like that, but not quite. Durov, who was born in Russia, spent his childhood in Italy, citizen of France, Russia, the Caribbean island nation of St. Kitts and Nevis, and the United Arab Emirates. He was taken into custody at Paris Le Bourget airport in France on Saturday after landing from Azerbaijan. In a statement posted to his platform, Telegram said it abides by EU laws and its content moderation is within industry standards and constantly improving. Durov, the company added, has nothing to hide and travels frequently in Europe. Here are some details on Telegram, the app at the center of Durov's arrest. Okay, so the government says it's hosting this stuff. I'm not. Here's some details about Telegram. Telegram is an app that allows for one-on-one conversations, group chats, and large channels that allow people to broadcast messages to subscribers. Unlike rivals such as Meta's WhatsApp, Telegram's group chat allows as many as 200,000 people compared to a maximum of 1,024 people for WhatsApp. Experts have raised concerns that misinformation spreads easily in group chats of this size. Well, I don't care about that. What I care about is if there's illegal stuff. Telegram offers encryption for their communications, but contrary to a popular misconception, this feature is not on by default. Users have to switch on the option to encrypt their chats. It also doesn't work with group chats. That contrasts with rival Signal and Facebook Messenger, where chats are encrypted end-to-end by default. Telegram says it has more than 950 million active users. It is widely used in France as a messaging tool, including by some officials in the presidential palace and in the ministry behind the investigation into Durov. 950 million active users, really? 1/7 or 1/8 of the world population uses Telegram? I didn't know that. I thought it was like not even, I thought it was like 3 million people max. 950 mil, really? I kind of don't believe that, really. 950 million? Is there a mister information? Yeah, it's me. Tom's trying to miss his flight. My flight's at 9. I got a while. I'm not sleeping. I'll sleep on the plane and I'll crash at Brandon's house. It's widely used in France as a messaging tool, including by some officials in the presidential palace and in the ministry behind the investigation into Durov. But French investigators have also found the app has been used by Islamic extremists and drug traffickers. Ooh. Telegram was launched in 2013 by Durov and his brother Nikolai. The most Russian name ever. Nikolai. Isn't this a guy in Black Ops? Nikolai. Oh, he's in Modern Warfare. Yeah, this guy. This guy was the GOAT. According to Telegram, Pavel Durov supports the app financially and ideologically, while Nikolai's input is technological. The Russian GOAT from Regular Show. Oh, but there was a Russian GOAT in Regular Show, wasn't there? A Russian Regular Show. Regular Show was so good, man. Oh yeah, Thomas. Thomas was a Russian secretly, right?
That guy's dressed up like a garbage can and totally still alive. I think you're in a dream, dude. Wait.
Dude, I watched like every episode of this show when it was on TV. I didn't watch like the last two seasons before the last season. When I found out the last season was airing, I was watching it live, and I was watching the finale live. One of the only TV show finales I've watched live. When did it? It was 2014. It ended, right? Or 2017. 2017. When did a regular show end? 2017. I was watching this live when it was ending, and at the end of the show, they play "Heroes" by David Bowie, and I think it was my first time hearing that song, and I cried at the end of that show, dude. I was like borderline sobbing, I would say, because I love that show, bro. You know, Adventure Time was good. I liked Adventure Time. It's probably a better show. Okay, whatever. Technical art perspective, but I connected with regular show more, and I loved regular show. It was so good. It was so good, man. Telegram Durov founded Vkontakte. Before Telegram, Durov founded Vkontakte, Russia's largest social media network.
You feel
The
normal.
company came under pressure amid the Russian government's crackdown after a mass pro-democracy protest rocked Moscow at the end of 2011 and 2012. Durov said government authorities demanded that the VKontakte take down the online community's Russian opposition activists. Later asked the platform to hand over the personal data of users to part in the 2013 uprising in Ukraine, which eventually ousted a pro-Kremlin president. Have you seen epic rap battles of Sigma? No, I can watch that after though. Epic rap battles of Sigma. This looks crazy. But Durov sold a stake in VKontakte after pressure from Russian authorities in 2014. He also left the country. Today, Telegram is based in Dubai, which Durov called the best place for a neutral platform like ours to be in if we want to make sure we can defend our users' privacy and freedom of speech. In an April interview with conservative talk show host Tucker Carlson. Why was Durov arrested? French media has reported that Durov was detained on an arrest warrant alleging his platform has been used for money laundering, drug trafficking, and other offenses. As of Monday afternoon, he's not been charged. A few details were available on the investigation, so he wasn't even charged. He was detained. So why is he even detained while they're still investigating? Are they gathering the evidence from him? Do they have a really reliable tip? The thing is, it's possible this stuff is happening on Telegram. It does seem like the place to go for like those kinds of people, at least as far as like messaging platforms I know of. You know, it seems like the place the criminals would operate. On Sunday night, a French investigative judge extended Durov's detention order. French media reported on Monday. Under French law, Durov can remain in custody for questionable for up to 4 days. After that, judges must decide to charge him or release him. What has been the response? In Russia, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov declined to comment on reports of Durov's arrest in France. We still don't know what exactly Durov is being accused of, Peskov said Monday during his daily media conference call. We haven't heard any official statement on the matter. Let's wait until the charges are announced. If they are announced, Peskov said. Russian government officials have expressed outrage at Durov's detention, with some calling it politically motivated and proof of the West's double standard on freedom of speech. The outcry has raised eyebrows among Kremlin critics. In 2018, Russian authorities themselves tried to block Telegram but failed, withdrawing the ban in 2020. Elsewhere, Elon Musk, the billionaire owner of X, who has called himself a free speech absolutist, has been speaking out in support of Durov and posted #FreePavel following the arrest. In a statement posted on his platform after his arrest, Telegram said it abides by EU laws and its moderation is within industry standards and constantly improving. Why don't criminals use Morse code? Yeah, that'd be really easy and fast to use, true. There is a good point. It's not like anybody even knows what Morse code is, or like that the government, you know, can understand it. That's like crazy. It's not like they invented it. I think you're based. It is absurd to claim that a platform or its owner are responsible for abuse of that platform, Telegram's post said. Almost 1 billion users globally use Telegram as a means of communication and as a vital source of vital information. We're awaiting a prompt resolution of the situation. Telegram is with you all. Does Telegram moderate content? Our last section of this article. All right. Western governments have often criticized Telegram for a lack of content moderation, which experts say opens up. Experts say. Who are the experts? Who are your experts? AP. Which experts say opens up the messaging platform for potential use in money laundering, drug trafficking, and the sharing of material linked to exploitation of minors. Compared to other messaging platforms, Telegram is less secure and more lax in terms of policy and detection of illegal content, said David Thiel, a Stanford University researcher who has investigated the use of online platforms for child exploitation at its Internet Observatory. The Internet Observatory. They're marking them down, chat. Marking them down. The Internet Observatory is observing. What the f is the Internet Observatory? Stanford. Home. About. No area of society has avoided disruption by new internet technologies. Democracy, media, education, these fields will face continued upheavals as we deal with the impact of billions of people having access to both high-quality information and disinformation on demand. Unfortunately, the political and social sciences have been slow to build their capabilities to study the negative impact of technology, partially due to a lack of data access, information processing resources, and individuals with the necessary backgrounds to sift through exabytes of data. For centuries, physicists and astronomers have coordinated resources to build massive technological infrastructure to further their field. With the infinitely expanding data and content, researchers need infrastructural capabilities to research this newfound information frontier. The Stanford Internet Observatory is a cross-disciplinary program of research, teaching, and policy engagement for the study of abuse in current information technologies with a focus on social media. The observatory was created to learn about the abuse of the internet in real time, to develop a novel curriculum on trust and
Freelance
safety
says,
that
will
is
not attack you
first
or
in computer
unfriendly.
science, and to translate our research discoveries into training and policy innovations for the public good. By providing researchers across Stanford with cutting-edge data analytics and machine learning resources, we will
Freelance
unlock
says,
completely
what do you gotta
unforeseen
be neutral
fields
for
of
them to not
research.
attack you?
Yada, 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 yada. I don't know if Stanford
Unit
had
16
this.
copper.
Interesting. Science of the internet.
Galehead says,
I wonder if
unfriendly is
their
fine.
reporting and journalism is completely paused, or if it's like somewhat unbiased and actually good and useful. I'd be curious to look into that
Lonesome
at
Butt
some
says,
point.
unfriendly
In
is fine.
addition,
Just don't check
Telegram
it, war
appears
box.
basically unresponsive to law enforcement, Teal said, adding that messaging service WhatsApp submitted over 1.3 million cyber tip line reports in 2023, and Telegram
Grigori
submits
says,
none.
okay, I'm
In
about to go through the
2022,
fridge.
Germany issued fines of 5 million euros against the operators of Telegram for failing to comply with German law. The Federal Office of Justice said that Telegram's FZ LLC hasn't established a lawful way for reporting illegal content or named an entity in Germany to receive official communication. Both are required under German laws that regulate large online platforms. Last year, Brazil
You received
temporarily
Oprah.
suspended Telegram over its failure to surrender
28
data
copper.
on neo-Nazi activity related to a policy inquiry into school shootings in November. Telegram said in response to the arrest that it abides by EU laws and its content moderation and industry standards are constantly improving. Same quote 4 times. Thanks. I do know that I think Brazil recently kicked out X says it's closing operations in Brazil due to judges' content orders. X, owned by Elon Musk, claims Moraes. What's Moraes? Oh, this is the judge. Brazilian judge Alexander de Moraes claims Moraes secretly threatened one of the company's legal representatives in the South American country with arrest if it did not comply with legal orders to take down content from its platform. What content? The social media giant published pictures of a document allegedly signed by Moraes, which says a daily fine of 20,000 reais, or $4,000, and an arrest decree would be imposed against ex-representative Rachel Nova Conceição if the platform did not fully comply to Moraes' orders. To protect the safety of our staff, we've made the decision to close our operation in Brazil, effective immediately. Brazil's Supreme Court told Roberts would not speak in the matter. It would not confirm or deny the
You received loot.
authenticity.
Oprah.
Okay, so it's probably real. They won't confirm or
You
deny
received
it.
loot.
It's a dark
Pops.
topic. Thomas, please watch
You
the,
loot 25
the vid on Parlo. The vid by Parlo. I'll donate a lot. I've seen the Discord. They're posting CP every day. I could watch it when I get back, but I'm not going to have time to watch it today. I'll put it on my docket just for you since you donated, okay? I'm not going to have time to watch it. It's too late. I've been streaming for 8 hours. It's too late for me to deal with British people breaking. But I'll put it right at the top of my list. The end of the UTTP.
You received
I'm not going to watch
flask
it
of oil.
today. I'll watch it when I get back, though. Earlier this year,
You 23
Moraes
copper.
ordered X to block certain accounts as he investigates so-called digital militias that have been accused of spreading fake news and hate messages during the government of far-right former President Jair Bolsonaro. Jair Bolsonaro. Look at this guy, Bolsonaro. Interesting.
Yeah.
What are people on the X app thinking about Telegram? I feel like the take to have is like, I think Telegram is cool if it doesn't do like as stringent content moderation as
You
like
received
other
loot.
platforms, but if they're not reporting
You
illegal
received loot.
stuff
Pops.
to law enforcement, or they're allowing
You
illegal
received
stuff
copper.
to happen on their platform, that's not good. You shouldn't be enabling illegal activity. What's the name of the guy who owned Telegram? Pavel Durov. I feel like Twitter's search feature is much worse too. Pavel Durov. Zuckerberg sold your information, so he's a free man. Pavel Durov didn't, so he's in jail. It's this simple. Thank you, Tyler Durden. The girl Pavel Durov wanted to show around Paris. She was literally posting every step of Durov online with photos and geolocations. Whoa, crazy. Pavel Durov, Telegram's billionaire CEO, was cut from a different cloth. From fighting for our freedom to biohacking, he isn't an ordinary tech titan. Last night I found his Telegram post from 2020 where he explains his approach to elite health. He does seem to have elite health. Before versus after $14 billion, Jesus Christ. What the that's a crazy implant. Damn. Censorship and Pavel Durov's arrest. 26. What did RFK Jr. say?
The First Amendment was written to protect not only true speech, but false speech.
Look, I have no real opinion on RFK Jr. He could be, I've heard a lot of people who are friends of mine say he's really based. He could be super based, but I cannot listen to this guy talk.
And speech that it wasn't there and it's unnecessary.
Every time he talks, I feel like he's dying. Every time he speaks, I feel like I'm doing something bad by listening to him. You know what I mean? He sounds like he's being hurt by me even putting him in my headphones. During his travels to Kazakhstan and Azerbaijan, Pavel Durov was known with 24-year-old crypto coach and streamer Yumia Vavilova, who resides in Dubai. She was also by his side at the time of his arrest. Leading up to it, she was actively sharing photos on social media from Durov's private jet and the various locations they visited. Now speculation is growing she might have been a spy involved in Durov's downfall. They very well intended to show around Paris. She was constantly posting photos and geolocations online, documenting Durov's every move. I mean, she could just be doing what every girl does ever, which is constantly post photos of herself. This is what every woman does ever. You ever been around a girl? The amount of pictures they take of themselves is crazy, okay? It's crazy. And I'm a social media guy. So I probably take more selfies than the average guy, okay? You know, once in a while I'm like, look at me, right? But girls are crazy with this shit. Girls are crazy with this shit, bro. They're constantly like...
You loot 17 copper.
What? Oh, true, D-man. It's crazy, bro. Do you support Pavel Durov? The 24th. Edward Snowden has called on France to free Telegram founder Pavel Durov. What money do you need to give for you to watch now and give a video later? I've seen things that were perfect. Dude, I'm just not going to watch right now. I'm sorry. There's no amount of money you can give me. It's not going to happen. Today we learned that Telegram CEO Pavel Durov has over 100 biological children. What is this account? Is this a real account? Citizen journalism with a humorous flair. He has 100 kids? I was just told to have over 100 biological kids. How is it possible for one guy who's never married to a person to live alone? What? 15 years ago, a friend of mine approached me with a weird request. He said that he and his wife couldn't have kids due to a fertility issue. He asked me to donate sperm at a clinic for them to have a baby. I left my ass off before realizing he was dead serious. The boss of the clinic told me that high-quality donor material was in short supply, and that it was my civic duty to donate more sperm to anonymously help more couples. This sounded crazy enough to get me to sign up for sperm donation. Fast forward to 2024, my past donating activity has helped over 100 couples in 12 countries to have kids. Moreover, many years after I stopped being a donor, at least one IVF clinic still has my frozen sperm available for anonymous use by families. Did this guy jerk off 100 times at this clinic? Is that how we got... That's how we got the startup money for Telegram, I bet. Okay? He jerked off 100 times. He gooned 100 times. That's crazy. What the... Do you understand the severity of what is happening? Oh, Candace Owens. Do you understand the severity of what's happening yet? Pavel Durov truly believes in free speech and created a platform the deep state doesn't have access to. Okay, this person's... I'm sorry. Maybe that is true, but when it's coming from Candace Owens, I just can't trust whatever she's saying. She should hang out with her friend, Andrew Tate. Most Americans have no idea who Pavel Durov is, what Telegram is, or why it might be important to the Kremlin. His arrest swiftly drew attention from certain quarters. Marjorie Taylor Greene, Edward Snowden, Tucker Carlson. Interesting. Russian war bloggers are freaking out over the arrest of Pavel Durov. Call sign Osetin. What's so funny, comrades? If our enemies get into Telegram, things will be bad for us. A lot of information flows through closed chats and more. And if all the military knows, this is no worse than I do. Don't ask me questions like, why is the card almost the main connection for us in the war? Bro, they keep posting this shit. What the... Who's that? Why is Epstein Island here? Why is George Carlin? What is this?
You received loot. Flask of oil.
Translate this? What the...
You received loot.
Translate to
Okra.
English. The story of Pavel Durov's
You
arrest
received
has
loot.
nothing to do with what's happening in Telegram. Alright.
You received loot.
We're using
Copper
this
tube.
picture of him again. This happened only because he
You
did
full
not
copper.
allow them to eavesdrop and censored a series of
Leroy
political
says, anyone
issues
want
that the
my Zubek?
leftists and elites wanted. The history of France is terrible. Only the calamity that brought Africa 10 volumes of horror book. The disaster that happened to us that we are still involved in. In the Olympics, you saw a man with a hanging next to a child.
You received loot.
Gaming.
Flask of
Tucker
oil.
gets down with his ends, he does. Many of you know
Full
about
cover.
Macron. He was in a relationship with his wife when he was 15 years old. In general, France and the this is like, the translation must be so bad. What is this picture? Why is this picture here? Who is this girl? These are important. He was trapped through this girl. Is this the girl he was with? Brother. Oh, brother. Breaking 12 charges announced against Telegram's Pavel Durov. Okay, so they did formally charge him now? Pavel Durov, founder and CEO of instant messaging and platform Telegram, was arrested at Le Bourgeon Airport in the outskirts of
Received loot.
Paris
Handful of copper
on
balls.
Saturday the 24th. This measure comes in the
You received
context of
loot.
an
Okra.
investigation opened the 8th of July,
received loot.
2024. It was
Pops.
opened against person...
You loot 22 copper.
Oh, Shadowfax here.
Greetings, survivors and friends. Shadowfax here with some big
Yay.
news, and I do have a roundup of this month's patch, a day earlier than usual, but I'm sure you don't.
Thank you, Tom Dark, for the excellent content for my stream. I'd like to sub to your channel.
in France is a messaging tool included
Thank
by...
you, Shadowfax, for the excellent content from stream. I'd like to sub to your channel.
Greetings, survivors and friends. Shadowfax here with some big news, and I do have a roundup of this month's patch, a day earlier than usual, but I'm sure you don't mind. But first, we're now just a month away from the most world-changing patch of the year, quite literally, and so as of today,
Oh, yeah?
playtesting of the new world updates opened up on the Orxo 2 branch for you to check it out, and I'll stick details of how to do this down in the description. But, to save you the effort, I'll also give you a quick look at the current state of play here so you can get an idea. But please note, everything is subject to change, and the team will be changing it a lot, often without warning, over the next month. So here we
Armstrong
go,
says,
and just so
OMFG,
you
I'm
know,
logging
this
right in
is
front
all
of Devil's
filmed
Roar
on
Path
a
Holy, at number dollar.
4,500 size map. As already mentioned, there will be some new map features arriving to spice things up a bit, including canyons, an example of which
Canyons.
you can see here. And these huge
Grapefruit
scars
says,
on the
"You can take
landscape
them."
are something you're going to have to learn to work around, or maybe even work to your advantage, as they do seem to contain a fair number of ore nodes. There are proper inland freshwater lakes, two such on this map, with gently sloping driftwood covered shores, and which are also teeming with fish.
Armstrong
You'll
says,
notice
"I'd be
too
dead if
the
it
way
wasn't
the
for an empty
landscape's
stopwatch."
painted around these and elsewhere fits very neatly with them being places where water has run to. And in the desert you'll find their cousins, the oases, which are again freshwater, smaller and shallower, so building in one is an attractive prospect, but at the moment I
Grigori
think it's
says, "I don't like
undecided
Angora."
as to whether they'll contain any fish. As part of these upcoming changes, there are a few new rock formations, selection of which you can see here, and these can be found both inland and along the coast, although there does seem to be a dearth of larger temperate rock formations, which I'm told will hopefully be added later, depending on time. And finally, I can show you the fruit of all that work that's been going
Armstrong
on
says,
to
"Do these
remodel
dinosaurs are
cliffs.
eggs?"
And these are altogether a lot more
Emil says,
granular,
"Anyone
it
in
would
Nordish
seem,
Westfall that
which,
can help me get this
although they
compass?"
still look imposing, makes them a lot easier to clamber up and should save quite a few space bars in the future. Wells are being changed up, and there are planters in some of them now, which will restock with random stuff for you to pick. And as well as this, there will be food caches, which are
Grapefruit
currently
says, "LOL, I
not
like Dino
spawning
Land."
on this map, and NPC vendors
receive
hanging
loot,
around
fruit
who will
battle
sell
axe.
you stuff and who can be killed,
receive loot,
apparently,
flask of oil.
although you won't get anything for doing it. Out
Loot
in the
23
ocean, you'll
copper.
find a number of new dive sites have been
Jabra
added,
says,
and I've
"I bet you're
counted
awake now."
several different configurations.
Armstrong
Gone are the
says,
old
"Surprise
sunken
face."
tugboats, and there are now a lot of new props to spice stuff up, including old planes and crabs. And instead of the familiar plastic bottle to mark them, there are brand new shiny buoys bobbing around above, which are much easier to spot. Although they have lights on them, they don't come on at night at the moment, subject to change. Oh, and they're sometimes
Grigori
controlled
says,
by
"Chronic
sharks.
Panic is the real
Such
offer."
fun. Back in land again, the new Radtown Redux is finally here, called the Toxic Village on the map. I've been to one or two of those myself. And here's a quick overview for you. The layout will be familiar to legacy
Wilson Duck says,
veterans, although
"Tribal
everything
World
here is amped up compared to the before times. The main buildings are in the same general configuration as before and are
receive loot,
irradiated
flask of oil.
as you would expect, although
You
the
receive loot,
interiors are
okra.
far more detailed and there are a lot of
You
new
loot 7 copper.
set dressings going on. You'll also find pools of that new fizzy drink I mentioned before, radioactive water, which is about as good for you as concentrated Mountain Dew, and likewise will be a contaminant if added to other water sources or splashed on players. So, for instance, you could fill up a bucket of it and chuck it on someone's vegetable plot to murder their produce, or fill up a super soaker and go on a rather deadly radioactive killing spree. Nerfs incoming, I think. However, this would make a bucket of fizzy water above the doorway trap an extremely attractive base defense. Please add that.
Farmer
in this
Saldian
bunch.
says, "They
Just
might
a
have run
couple
all
of
the other
notes
farmers
on the
off, but the
monument.
Saldians
There
will
is
never leave
some
Westfall."
standard loot around, but I imagine this isn't final. And FYI, the recycler can be located here in this building by one of the gates. As shown recently, the rivers are also being completely rewritten, being great long affairs now, starting small and then gradually widening as they wind out to the ocean. Currently, roads and rails cross over them like this, but I imagine these will be replaced by some kind of bridge to maintain believability at some point. And a new yet also very old resource node is in town, namely the legacy woodpile, back from the ancientest of times, and yielding about 1,175 wood per node, subject to change. Now all we need are rad bears and rad wolves and the sorted. And of course, as you've probably noticed, I am sporting the latest from the Rust Autumn Winter collection, as the Frontier Suit hazmat skin is also now on this branch, and is very trapper chic, should I say, covered in bits of animal and almost completely in exciting
Oh,
shades
no.
of brown, which definitely gives it a camouflage edge over the standard hazmat, although the stats are the exact same. Everything I've shown you so far is of course coming in October 3rd's patch, along with a lot more, so stay tuned this month for everything else that happens. Meanwhile, today is September's patch, so what do we get to play with right now on the main branch? Most of this is the same as what I've already covered in the last couple of vids, but to recap, we've got a new digital clock IO entity, workbench level 2, 100 frags to craft, and this both shows the server time and lets you set several alarms which can be output to trigger circuits. There's wallpaper now, a default item costing 20 cloth per panel and available as default in 4 scintillating colours, although there will be a wallpaper starter pack with an additional 22 patterns as shown last week for about the same price as a building skin, I'm told. I'm also guessing starter pack implies further packs down the road. There's the new weapon attachment, the gas compression overdrive, workbench level 2, 125 to research, 10 high qual to craft, and which boosts projectile damage and velocity, allowing you to hit harder with the trade-off of a slower fire rate and increased recoil. The GCO works on the Thompson, SAR, SAP, M92, M39 and custom SMG. As shown last week, the colour-blind options are now available under the accessibility tab in options and can be used to change around the colours of most things that could be an issue, including tree hit markers and even mushrooms, if you so desire. Gone are building errors in chat, and instead a nice pop-up will tell you exactly why you can't park that building block there, mate, taking all of the mystery out of the proceedings. And dynamic vendor prices have become even more dynamic. They now update every 3 hours on monthly, 2 hours on bi-weekly and 1 hour on weekly tagged servers, although there are a couple of convars to adjust these, which I'll try to remember to put in the description for you. Oh, and also there's a convar called Global Disable Clouds now, which does exactly what it says on the tin. Apart from that, check the dev blog when it's out for details of all the other small changes in this month's patch, and let me know below what you think to all of the stuff I've talked about.
This was great stuff. Yeah, thank you. It was excellent. I didn't know they were going to make so many improvements. Sweet. I'm excited. If I wasn't so tired, I would sound more excited.
Space Marine 2 PS5 gameplay. I have set the performance to speed instead of quality. That's what they call it. Who was shooting at me? Now I have to buy it. Hey man, hey look dude, I'm not doing anything. I'm just hanging out. I thought it was cool. That's all I'm doing. It looks a little blurry. Oh, that's probably YouTube compression, homie. I'm not seeing a lot of blur. I mean, there is some, but not like I took one spin test in Black Myth Wukong and I was like, ugh, gross. And in this game, I haven't felt that at all. Not even in the least bit. So YouTube compression is going to have a really hard time with this game. What the frick? Little loser.
My brother, you have honored the Imperium with your devotion.
Alright, we're gonna have to start trying to take out the those shooters really fast. They seem to be the where I'm taking the most damage from. Okay.
This is gonna be fun. It's looking kind of Gears of War. But it looks really fun, like better than Vermintide. We'll see. I don't want to spoil too much of it. Oops.
Loot, hops. You loot 31 copper.
Gotta make a phone call.
Lungsinbut says, OOF.
Gladys again has left the guild.
Spooky Sock says, RIP. Grigori says, bro said nothing ever to any of us. Grigori says, then died and left right away, that's called being a Sigma. Javara says, oh damn Gladies died at 52? Lungsinbut says, yeah that's gotta sting. Javara says, yeah that's rough. Javara says, maybe doing the WPL skeleton AoE mage thing, 52 is DC for that. Javara says, great grind spot but dangerous that low, sucks. Carbontax says, remember that leaving the guild after dying generally means chapter deletion, not an actual slash quit. Lungsinbut says, yeah those players stack attacks I think. Lungson Butt says, I think I started WPL at 52 though. Alan Blind says, anyone got eyes on Messenger? Lungson Butt says, and grinned to 59 there. Javara says, true carbon. Plus, you lose a 52, need a bit to process maybe. Carbon Tax says, yeah. It's a major EMO. Javara says, I'm not saying 52 is too low, just that he didn't have to do much wrong to die there. Amol says, no, sorry. Dallenden says, maybe around Moonbrook. You receive loot, okra. You loot a copper. Lungson Butt says, fair. Carbon Tax says, part of the issue is that a non-HC1 kinda expects to be better geared by 52, so when DPS comes up short it can be a bit of a surprise. Carbon Tax says, surprise. You receive loot, flask of oil. You loot 10 copper. Lungson Butt says, I definitely had a few close calls there. Javara says, right for sure. Great spot for mass AoE farming but can go south fast. I had some iffy spots there too.
Okay, sorry about that.
Javara says, of course, the worst
no,
was when
I
an
guess
AoE
I
farmer
got-
filled the
okay,
downstairs
okay.
of the house when I was questing to get me out of the zone side. Javara says, my spot. Mine.
Okay, so I am going to stop this stream here. We've been at it for 11 hours, and I am going to go to bed. And thank you so much, guys. You've been watching Skycat Live. Sorry my voice is so fucked up. Hopefully after some rest it'll feel better. Thank you so much. You've been watching Skycat Live. Come to skycat.live is my website. I'm a full-time variety gamer all day, every day. Put me on in the background. Click on the cast face to donate. Come to the Twitch or the YouTube and give me a like, sub, or a follow. And thank you to anybody who's liked, sub, or followed to me in the last few days. Thank you so much. I will be on tonight around, I believe, 7 or 8 p.m. PST for Space Marine 2, and yep, and I believe this is, when is the early launch? I don't know how long it'll be. Let's go to the store page and see if it says. But yeah, advanced access is on now. Yes, but I bought the gold edition, right? Yeah, I did, and yeah, it's about to. I guess they're being slow about it or something. So I can't download this yet. It's weird. But anyways, so I am excited. There's a really good game coming tonight. Really big, big online co-op game, and gonna be playing co-op with my friend Bagon. And we'll do some co-op Space Marine tonight, I think, if he can get free. I'm not sure. I don't know if it's directly tonight, but I'm definitely playing Space Marine 2 as soon as I get on tonight, and only Space Marine 2. So it'll be nice to break away from the MMO schedule to see the launch of a big single player game. And I spent $80 on the gold edition, so we're gonna see how it goes and see how it performs and see how it feels. It'll be fun to play a Warhammer game. I haven't played a Warhammer game in a while. And so I'm very excited to see you guys tonight in about 10 hours, something like that. And yeah, and that's all I have for you. Just a reminder, this 11-hour session was recorded, and it will be placed on my YouTube, where I also have 1900 videos. So yeah, if you like this session, or if you wanted to see something, this session will be recorded and placed on my YouTube channel. And and I'm starting to get up to about 10 views a video, and it's just gotta keep rolling forward like that. And thank you so much, guys. I love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting me in my budding streamer phase. And you know, it's been good. It's been a good couple years, and I'll be back tonight to do some Space Marine 2. I'll be kind of hoarse. I'm probably not talking too much, but that's probably a good thing. You know, I never shut the fuck up. So I love you guys. Oh wait. Oh, I thought I saw the install button. Nope. So anyways, I love you guys. You know, come to Skycat Live. Click on the cast face to donate. Thank you so much. You guys have a good day. Take care.